All right, y'all. So we had two blowouts in the NBA playoffs last night, and I would not have expected either one of them to have gone the way they went. So first, Cleveland blew the doors off of the Boston Celtics, bro. Like Boston could not score. They couldn't stop a damn cold. They could not do a damn thing, bro. So Donovan Mitchell, 29 points, 10 for 19 shooting. He had a good game. He didn't even have to be Superman in this game, which is what you love because Evan Mobley is cooking the Celtics without Porzingis being there, bro. In the first game, he had a very good game. In the second game, he had arguably an even better game. 21 points, 10 boards, 5 assists, 9 for 15 shooting. Even hit a three, 1 for 2 from three in 33 minutes for Evan Mobley. It was everybody for Cleveland that was cooking, bro. Like the Celtics, I know they're one of the what were they? They were one of like the top 3, 5 defenses in the league regular season. I know that they were the best home team. Like there was literally conversations that I think they went 37-4 at home, but until they lost to the Nuggets, that first home game they lost that I vividly remember, there was conversations about are they good enough to go 41-0 at home, and I think the only team to even come close was I think it was that 2017 or 2016 Spurs team. I'm pretty sure they went like 40-1 at home or something like that year. And the Celtics went 37-4 this year. They've lost 2 games through 2 rounds of the playoffs at home against much inferior teams. It's not a good sign. Like, are the Celtics just think? Do they think that they're just gonna have a game each series where they're just gonna play terribly and it's just gonna happen to be game two every series? Because bro, if you do that, let's say you do that versus a team like New York. Not even New York, because I don't think New York's good enough to beat you, honestly. Let's say you do that versus a team like Minnesota or a team like Denver or the Thunder, the Mavs, any of those four teams that are still left out west. You're losing that game, and you're not just losing that game. That might give them momentum enough for the series, bro. Like, let's say if you're the Celtics, right? Let's say you make it to the finals. Let's say you play the Timberwolves in the finals, because that's probably the most likely scenario based just off 2 games of every one series. Dogs are barking for reasons that I'll never understand. Um, let's say you go face Minnesota in the finals, right? Let's say you win game one, you lose game two in the same fashion that you've lost game two to the Heat and to the Cavs. Let's say you lose game two. Well, now you're going back to Minnesota. You're not going to Miami. You're not going to Cleveland, where you're facing a team that's worse than you and a team that's more injured than you. You're saying, let's say you're facing a fully healthy Minnesota Timberwolves series is tied 1-1. You just got blown out in game two. You're going back to Minnesota. Brother, that momentum is terrible if you're Boston. You're already going into Minnesota, who has had such a phenomenal home playoff crowd, who's had such a phenomenal atmosphere, who has such a phenomenal guy to get the crowd going in Anthony Edwards, bro. If that happens against them, you might just lose the series off of one bad game like that where you let everything slip. So you can't just keep letting this happen. Isaac Okoro should never go 5 for 6 from the field with 12 points, 1 for 1 from three. Now, he didn't do a damn thing else, but that was the only good offensive game he's had probably the whole playoffs. So, from my memory, from the whole playoffs. So, Darius Garland, I don't really know what to say to you, brother. Like, you are just not. I thought Darius Garland, like in 2021, I think that was his All Star season. I thought Darius Garland was going to be like one of those next really, really good PGs. Like, I thought he was going to be like, I don't know, like a Trey Young. Like, I thought he was going to be like another Trey Young. I was wrong. You only took 8 shots. Max Strus got up more shots than you. Isaac Okoro got up 2 less shots than you. Karis LeVert more than doubled the amount of shots you took. Karis LeVert off the bench, by the way, let's not let this go unmentioned. 9 for 17 with 21.6 boards and 3 assists. Karis LeVert was the reason that when that bench unit came in, he was the reason that bench unit was still productive. Max Strus 5 for 10, 2 for 7 from three. Now we need you to hit some more. Well, not we. I'm not a damn Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Cleveland needs you to hit some more threes, be more efficient with your threes. But I'm not mad at you because when you have Darius Garland going 4 for 5 from three with 7 boards and 14 points, again you expect a lot more from Darius Garland, but you didn't need it in this game. So I'm not gonna say too much bad about him. When you have Donovan Mitchell going 10 for 19 and 5 for 7 from three with 8 assists, 7 boards, and 29 points. Max Strus 2 for 7 from three, considering you went 5 for 10 from the field and had 6 boards, is not bad at all. Like I said, they do want you doing better from three. And I do like that Jordan Yang wasn't getting as many minutes here. Like it was, I think Evan Mobley was in like foul trouble or something like that. And instead of putting in Jordan Yang, which is what a lot of times you would have seen JB Bickerstaff do, he put in Tristan Thompson, who's been getting a lot of burn these playoffs. And you saw Marcus Morris get a lot of minutes, which he's been doing these playoffs with Jared Allen out as well. And those guys, even though Tristan Thompson literally had 1 point, they were very productive in the minutes they played. Now, Marcus Morris, you need him to get some boards for you. Like, why are you in there playing 16 minutes at center if you can't get a single rebound? But, like, they played very well. The Cavs, 54.7% from the field, 46.4% from three. They simply just beat them 44 boards to Boston's only 31. Like, that's just not going to be good enough. Now, I get Porzingis is out, but, like, Porzingis and Horford aren't going to be enough if you do face the Timberwolves with their three bigs. Because if Jokic isn't enough, I'm sorry to tell you, Porzingis and Horford is not going to be enough. I'm just sorry to tell you. And then there's no team with the bigs with a team of enough bigs to deal with Minnesota's bigs, and I think that is something that we weren't really scared of because we were like, the NBA right now doesn't really work with bigs. Cat doesn't play defense. Rudy Gobert, you can attack him defensively because you can literally just force him outside the paint on defense. Well, none of those things are true anymore. None of them. They all play defense. Rudy Gobert has proven that he can come out and guard some guys outside of the paint. He's proven that they can change the way that they guard around him to make him another defensive player of the year. So it will be a tough series if Boston does end up facing Minnesota, and if Minnesota ends up facing anyone in the East for the ring, I think Minnesota might have it. Now Boston is the only team I think that could beat Minnesota, but I don't know. Not looking like this. Derek White has 7 threes in game 1. He went 1 for 8 tonight from 3 with 10 points, 3 for 11 from 3. Jason Tatum, I don't know what you're doing, brother, and you're one of my favorite players in the league. You're from St. Louis. I watched you play when I was in middle school and while you were in high school. 7 for 17, 2 for 5 from 3, 6 assists, 7 boards, 25 points. Not a bad game. Not at all a bad game, but you need more. When you're in a game like this, you're about to lose to an inferior team for the second time in the playoffs. Like this year, they're about to lose a game to an inferior team that you should not be losing a game to. You want more. Like, you might want a Jason Tatum to go for 40 because it's not like he averaged 30. He averaged, 27 this season, 30 last season. So you expect him to get at least what he averaged, and he's not doing that. He hasn't been doing that the whole playoffs. So you need more from him. Jaylen Brown, you got to do better than 0 for 6 from 3. You have to be better than 19 points on 17 shots. Derek White, you've been carrying this playoffs for the Celtics, and I'm not going to say too much about you. You had one bad game. You've been carrying. We don't expect you to carry the Celtics. It's not your job to carry the Celtics offensively. Jrue Holiday, we know you're there for mostly defense, but we do need you to go better we need you to go better than 2. Well, why am I saying we? They need you to go better than 2 for 7 and 0 for 2 from 3. You didn't do anything. You were just out there doing cardio for the most part. Like, no offense. I'm a big fan of yours, guys. So yeah, I'm a big fan of yours. Jrue Holiday, so I'm not going to say too much, but, like, yeah, it's just bad. Peyton Pritchard was your best player off the bench, 6 for 10, but only 1 for 4 from 3. Like, y'all went 8 for 35 from 3 tonight. We've all said this the whole season. When Boston's 3 is not hitting, they're not winning games, and that's really, really scary, especially versus a team that has as many lengthy wings that can run you off the three-point line as Minnesota, a team that has guys that can contest guys like Jrue Holiday, they can contest guys like Kristaps Porzingis, that can contest guys like Jason Tatum, they can contest guys like Jaylen Brown, like Derek White. Like, they have a guy at every position that can play defense on all of the Celtics guys, which is really concerning because it's like if you can't get that 3 off for a whole, let's just say not even a full 7-game series, but just 4 out of 7 games in a series, which is very realistic considering Minnesota's defense, you're going to lose that series. Now, Boston, every single day that I watch these playoffs, it looks like Minnesota is the better team by a wider and wider margin. And I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I have no idea, but that's kind of what it feels like. And yeah, bro, I just don't know. I'm not sure what's going on over there with Boston. I'm going to need y'all to really pick it up, though. Like, I always thought firing Ime Udoka was a mistake, but I don't think they'd be having so many of these, like, three-point reliancy issues if Ime Udoka was still the coach. Now, that's not saying too much, though, because Joe Mazzulla is a phenomenal coach. I'm not saying he should be gone. I'm not saying he's doing anything stupid. I'm just saying, like, I don't believe that some of these problems would happen under Joe Mazzulla, but let's move on to the next game. I'm already at 8 minutes, and I've talked about one game and one hypothetical series for half of it because I yap. So, Mavs tied the series up. Now, this wasn't a blowout game, but it was a blowout for a lot of the game, especially when Josh Giddey was in the game. Like, when Josh Giddey was in the game, the Mavs went on a run every single time. And, like, in the first game, even before this series, honestly, I knew Josh Giddey was going to be pretty much unplayable in this series, and I knew that in the regular season. Like, I said in the regular season, he's going to be pretty much unplayable come playoff time. It's looked really bad, though. Like, defensively, offensively, it's just all bad when he's on the floor. He's got to go. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, there's you want to use some of those draft picks. You want to use some of your bench guys to go get a star. You want to use some cap space. He's got to be the key piece in the trade. He's got to go. I'm not going to lie. He's got to go. He's just not good when they're on the floor. He can't shoot, so it makes the offense so much easier to defend. He's not a great defender, so it's like, what is he out there for? You know what I'm saying? He didn't play too many minutes. I think he played like 9 to 10 minutes. He might have played more than that. I don't know. Let me look. Apologies, allergies. He played 11 minutes, 3 for 6, 0 for 2 from 3, 8 points, which, like, 3 for 6 isn't bad in 11 minutes at all, but it's like the defense isn't good. He can't stretch the floor. It makes their offense easier to defend. Chet Holmgren had a bad game, 1 for 6 from 3, 4 for 12 from the field. Jalen Williams had an inefficient game, 7 for 17, 20 points, didn't do much else to fill up the stat sheet. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had an MVP-level performance, 33 points, 12 boards, 13 for 24 shooting in 41 minutes. He was their only bright spot. Keep in mind, he just scored 33, and he only hit 1 3, and it was in the fourth quarter. It was a step-back 3. I remember it vividly. I think Luka was guarding him. It was a step-back 3 in the fourth quarter. It was actually a really big shot. It doesn't look like it when you come to the box score, but at the time, that was a really big shot. Light-skinned Jalen Williams off the bench has produced a lot of good minutes. Isaiah Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, and Cason Wallace have all been really, really phenomenal off the bench. Gordon Hayward should never be getting minutes anymore. He's a bum. No offense to you, Gordon Hayward. You had a really good career. I loved you when you were in Utah. I wish you never got hurt when you did like you did when you were in Boston. Since then, it's been tough with the injuries and everything like that. But yeah, you don't need to be playing minutes. You and Josh Giddey both might get DNP coaches' decisions for the rest of the series, especially with the fact that it's tied 1-1 and you no longer have home court advantage. Luka finally had a Luka game. Now, the second and third quarters were actually really quiet for him, but it was such a good first quarter with 16 points and such a good fourth quarter that it didn't end up mattering. He was 29 points, 10 boards, 7 assists, 5 for 8 from 3. PJ Washington was really who had the game for Dallas. 29. Now, you're not relying on this. If you're Dallas, you're not relying on this, but hey, PJ Washington giving you a good game in a 7-game series every once in a while, that's what you need. That's what they needed to win this game, because without it, they would have lost, because Kyrie was out there playing for the other team damn near. 2 for 8, 0 for 2 from 3, 9 points, 11 assists. The only thing he was doing well was playmaking well and defending well. That was it. That was all Kyrie was doing out there, because offense, shooting, scoring, getting himself free, it wasn't working, bro. Derrick Jones Jr. also 3 for 12, 1 for 5 from 3, could not score, could not shoot the ball into the Pacific Ocean, bro. But then you have PJ Washington, 11 for 18, 29 points, 11 boards, 7 for 11 from 3. There's nothing more you can ask for PJ Washington. Now, the Mavericks, I'm still worried about. You need to have Kyrie and Luka having good games at the same time. Like, you need them to be combining for more than 40 points. Like, you want that. You need them to be combining for... They didn't even combine for 40 points yesterday. It was 38. You need more than that. Like, you need more than that from your two guys. You don't... Like, it's a good thing that PJ Washington stepped up, and it's a good thing that Tim Hardaway Jr. went 6 for 10, had a perfect day off the bench pretty much, because nobody else did. So, yeah. Yeah, man, that's it for today, man. It was a good recap of these two games. Tonight we have Pacers at Knicks, or no, we have Knicks at Pacers, and we have Nuggets at Timberwolves. It'll be two big games to see if either one of these guys can go up 3-0, or to see if either one of these teams can make it 2-1. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed, stay praying. Please keep God in your life, bro. I love y'all. And just remember, God loves you no matter how many times you mess up. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And yeah.